Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. So I'm ranking all of the Ween studio albums, and this is Ween's fourth album, Chocolate and Cheese. Chocolate and Cheese is the fourth studio album. I already said that. Blah, blah, blah. It was released in September of 1994. It was the first Ween album to be recorded in a professional studio. No more four-track recording. Its broad sound has been described as genre hopping. So it has psychedelia, country, funk, industrial, and even Latin music. Chocolate and Cheese was supported by the singles I Can't Put My Finger on It, Freedom of 76, and Voodoo Lady. Though the album did not perform well commercially, it received positive reviews and has been recognized as one of Ween's signature albums. So what I do is I rate all of the songs out of 5, and then, I add them all up and to get the full rating for the album and see where it lands in the rankings. And like I've said before, especially for the first few albums, they're pretty even. I kind of love them all. But there's always, one or two songs I'm not I do like them, but I'm not a big fan of them. So here we go from my least favorite song to my favorite. You'll see it coming up from the bottom here. So the lowest rated song is the HIV song, which is, there's not much for lyrics except for HIV and AIDS. And it's done in a very jolly kind of a way, although, having HIV isn't really jolly, but, that's the Ween sense of humor. It's okay. I give it a 3 out of 5. But it is a little disturbing, even for Ween. Next up, one song with a 3.5 out of 5, Candy. I do like it. Once again, really not much to it. I do love the crazy kind of effects in the song, but there's better songs on the album coming up. Bena's, I can't even pronounce it because people will just laugh at me and tell me I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it is a kind of like Marty Robbins' El Paso, kind of a Spanish song. It's 7 minutes long. It's good. There's some nice guitar work in it. It tells a story. And I was thinking, because Gene Ween he's so talented, doing these different voices. I thought it was Dean Ween doing that song, but it is Gene Ween. And I do like it. It's a 4 out of 5. 4.5, Don't, SHIT, Where You Eat, the closing song. A country song that, like I said, closes the album. I'm not really a big fan of the title of the song, but what can you do? But I like the song. It's very good, except for the title, I guess. And all the rest, I absolutely love. They're 5 out of 5. As you can see here, spinal meningitis got me down. It would get anybody down. But it's, once again, a very, catchy song. And I will say this, after the first 3 albums that were, like I said, recorded on a four-track tape recorder, but I still like the sound quality of those. These are, like it said, done in an actual professional studio. And it sounds great, but it does lose a little bit of the Ween brown sound as they're known for, but still a lot of great songs here. Drifter in the Dark is another country song that would, kind of fit on 12 Golden Country Greats, their album later on. Take Me Away, the great opening song. Mister, Would You Please Help My Pony? I Can't Put My Finger on It. Some of these are, almost normal songs compared to, the earlier material by Ween. So this would actually be a good opening album for somebody that's curious about Ween and might not like their more experimental earlier stuff, even though there is some crazy experimental stuff on all of these albums. What Diener was talking about is, I guess, Dean Ween was, having panic attacks sometimes, and Gene Ween, I don't know, maybe he didn't realize how serious it was until Gene Ween actually had one, and then he realized, oh, this is what Diener is talking about. And it's, a great pop song, Like I said, a lot of these songs are very catchy. A Tear for Eddie is a instrumental with just fantastic, like I said before, Dean Ween is such a superb guitarist, and if you love guitar work, you really need to check out this song. It's a beautiful, dedicated to Eddie Hazel from Funkadelic, who was a excellent guitarist. So that's number 3. Voodoo Lady. And there's even, I think, an official music video for that song. And once again, very catchy. And number 1 for me is Freedom of 76. Great falsetto by Gene Ween and kind of a Prince homage in a way. And it's really good. So it's my favorite of the songs on Chocolate and Cheese. So in total, Chocolate and Cheese out of 5 gets a 4.69. So that ain't too bad. And let's compare it to the other 3 albums before it. Number 4 is 4.67, The Pod, which I still love. Number 3 is Chocolate and Cheese with a 4.69. Number 2 is their debut, God Ween Satan, with a 4.73. And my favorite so far is Pure, I have Ween there, but Pure Guava with a 4.84. And that is my, my review for Chocolate and Cheese. As I always say, I don't feel I'm a great, as you can probably tell, a great reviewer of albums. But I just, if I love a band or an album, I try and tell others, go check it out, go check it out. So please, if you haven't heard Ween, and you're not crazy about really weird experimental stuff, as some of their first 3 albums had on it. But even those had some, kind of normal, catchy songs. But these are more almost normal. And like I said, Dean Ween is such a amazing guitarist. And Gene Ween, I love his vocals and all the different things he can do with his vocals. And so I'm just hoping, to get more Ween fans out of this, doing this series. And if you are a Ween fan, please remember to like the video and leave a comment below. And it really does help, the video get attention with other people that might hopefully land on this video and say, Ween, I've heard of them. Maybe I will check them out. So next up is 12 Country Golden Greats. And that's, that was the final album, it took me a while to gather them all, and some of the albums were gifted to me by a friend. Thank you, pal. And she sent me two Ween t-shirts. And 12 Golden Country Greats, like I said, is the last one that I needed. And I've only listened to it once. So I need to every week I do listen to these albums at least 3 or 4 times. But I definitely need to listen to 12 Golden Country Greats at least, 3 or 4 more times, and then see how it goes in the rankings. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Go check out Ween. Bye.